Welcome to another episode of Dave's Movie Dailies. This movie I'm going to talk to you guys about came out in December 20, I believe it was 2023. No, December 20. Well, it was close to December 20th, 2024. And it lasted for a very long time. It's called The Brutalist. And it was directed by Brady Corbet. It starred, if you guys see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notes. It starred Adrian Brody, Felicity Jones, Guy Pearce, Joe Alwyn, Rafi Cassidy, and much, much more. Okay. It is an epic period drama based on a Hungarian Jewish Holocaust survivor who comes to the U.S. struggling to achieve the American dream until a wealthy client hires him for a major project, mostly a carpenter, and does other jobs and then he becomes an architect, designing a major building housing a gymnasium, a church, and much more. This film was produced by A24, which is one of my favorite movie companies because, they have everything. Right now, they're even, this is a shameless plug, but they're running an app where you can literally sign up and they can send you free movie tickets because they're like every other movie is A24. Like in 1 year, they can release at least 50 movies because they're continuously working. They've literally taken just about everything and they're great. You know, they do a lot of Academy Award winning stuff, whether it be horror, whether it be romantic, whether it be dramatic, whether it be anything. They're taking the cake with everything. So Corbet was awarded with the Silver Lion for Best Direction. This is Brady Corbet who directed this. This film received critical acclaim and many accolades for direction, screenplay, performances, cinematography, and score. Okay. Moving on. This film earned 10 nominations at the 97th Academy Awards, including Best Picture, winning for Best Cinematography. It won for Best Original Score, Best Actor, Adrian Brody, who won the Academy Award, Golden Globe, everything. At the 82nd Golden Globes, it took 3 awards, including Best Motion Picture Drama, named of the top 10 films of 2024 by the American Film Institute. It was a box office success, grossing up to $49.3 million against a $9.6 million net budget, becoming Corbet's most successful film. The film was primarily shot on a VistaVision, a large format film that runs 35 millimeters film horizontally through the camera. This technique is not widely used much for modern filmmaking. It produces a more sharper, more detailed image with a wider field of view. While it was shot on a 35 millimeter, it was printed on a 70 millimeter for screens. The Brutalist was approximately 200 minutes long with a 15-minute intermission. The film itself was 3 hours and 35 minutes long. Did I forget anything else here on my notes? Give me 1 second. I'm just reviewing something here. No, I think I said everything. Okay. So, this is my take of the film. So, I went to New York to watch this. We went to the Lincoln Square Theater. We got there at 4 o'clock. I didn't make it home till 11 o'clock at night. The movie won a lot of awards, and it was recognized for its directorial debut. I mean, direction, acting, all that. I'm not gonna lie, all that stuff was great. The movie got its message out and everything. It was boring as all hell. I'm sorry. It had moments where, obviously it was, the way it got shot, the movie, the VistaVision thing, I haven't seen that since since movies that were done in the 70s and early 80s, you know. Um, but the movie was boring. Like there was certain moments in the movie that were interesting, that caught my eye and all this other stuff. There was this one scene, spoiler alert, if you have not seen this movie and you want to watch it, you got 5 seconds to go find it online and watch it, because it's no longer in the theaters. Watch it and then you could come back to this. But it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You've been warned. There was this one sequence where the client ended up raping the character of Adrian Brody, because they got both under the influence and all that stuff. And that was like, whoa, that moment right there kind of like threw me off guard, because the movie was so boring for him to, I mean, the whole premise was this client that he ends up hiring him, and you know, pretty much gets him to do this whole city, you know, this whole building. He knew that Adrian Brody's character was not an architect. He was just kind of like a carpenter, and he had done things. He designed his library. But he loved it so much that he was like, you know what? They got drunk at a party, and he said, I want you to design a church, a gymnasium, and I forget what the other thing was. And he said, I'm not capable of doing this. And he was like, no, I think you are capable. I want you to do it. So he decided to take the task and decided to do what he needed to do. He was like, okay, so this is what's going to cost. He started putting all the stuff together and everything. And he started working on it. Now, they kind of became equals in a sense, because they were, you know, he was working for him, and you know, he was, this is a man who came from being poor, dirt poor, and he had left his family to come over here to try to make a better life. And then he, right then and there, he ends up being exposed to this mogul, and he contracts him to do this big job. But at times he feels like, yeah, he's equal, but then he realizes that he's not equal, because this mogul, this rich man, whenever he wants, he belittles him and puts him down and makes him remember who he is and what's his place, what's his position in life. And because of him, because of the mogul, he's become somebody. So he's like, this guy's paying me. This is my bread and butter. I can't speak back to this guy, because then I'll go back to being a nothing. So he takes the beating pretty much, and he continues doing all this stuff. But Adrian Brody never forgets what his place is. They go off to this specific area where they start to find this new type of stone that they can utilize for these buildings. And they Adrian Brody's character is a user. He uses drugs. So he goes, gets high and everything. And while he's high, the client follows him and decides, I'm going to rape this guy. And he takes advantage of him and he rapes him. It was shocking, because at no point did you think that this movie was going to take a turn for the worse like that. But it did. It was crazy, because I had never been in a movie theater where they took an actual intermission. I've been in movies that have been 4 hours long or 3 hours long and all that stuff. And we just sit right through it. But they gave us actually our intermission was a little longer than 15 minutes. Everybody walked out to the bathroom. Even the person that I was with went and took his time. And I was just sitting there and all that stuff. And then finally the movie came back on. We finished up the movie. That's where the movie started to get a little crazy for me, because this whole time the movie's going parallel to the chronological order of what happened. But toward the end, it felt like it was just being rushed to get it to the end, and they didn't give us answers to certain characters, where they went, what happened, and it just does a radical time jump, and it just ends. Now, for me, that was like, dude, I wasted 4 hours in this movie, and you're gonna just time jump me and just give me a half-assed answer of what happened. To me, I was like, dang, yo, what the heck? We leave the theater. We start heading back. I didn't get home till 11 o'clock. And I was exhausted. And this movie was definitely not worth it for me. I love movies like this that are long and they give you story and all that stuff. But this, I mean, it won its Academy Awards and all that stuff. I saw it. That's it. It doesn't have no replay value for me or anything like that. So a scale from 1 to 10, I give it, for all the stuff that I saw that was good, direction, acting, all that stuff, I give it a straight up 5. But the movie, no, I guess I would have to give it a lot more, because I'll have to give it like at least a 7.5. But this movie was boring. I did not enjoy myself watching this movie. I did not enjoy the journey through it. So I mean, that's up to you. If you guys like these period pieces and all that stuff, you might enjoy it. I know a friend of mine, a buddy of mine from my other job, that he loves these things, so he thought it was an amazing film. So that's why, like, you might have different likes than me and all that stuff. But yeah, for me, it was one that I wish. I mean, I watched it. I would have watched it anyway, but it was just, to me, it was just so dull. But yeah, this has been Dave D. Saint with another Dave's Movie Dailies. Reviewing The Brutalist, 7.5 for me. If you guys want to watch it and all that stuff, by all means, go. You might have a different opinion than me. And this is me saying to you guys, have a good night, and I will see you on the next one.